In the blink of an eye, 2023 is almost halfway over. The beginning of May brings hotter temperatures, fresh blooms, and for millions of Americans, a sigh of relief as summer is just around the corner. For many parents, the hectic school year is complete, and life feels slightly slower for a few months. The season of summer means lots of time outdoors, and hopefully a little time off to go on a vacation or two. If you've been searching for summer getaways, you're likely seeing exceptionally high prices for flights and hotels. The reality is that post-pandemic demand is still surging, and many top travel destinations and resorts are gearing up for a very busy season. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average cost for a plane ticket is still 20% more expensive than this time last year. If you're looking to save some cash and don't mind driving, you might want to consider RV road tripping.
Typically, a campground is going to be a lot cheaper than a hotel. So, that is probably your biggest savings. You also tend to be able to save a little bit with food because you can cook your own meals. We all know that eating at home is more cost effective than eating out.
That's Bonnie Sinclair, a travel expert and the co-author of the book USA RV Adventures. Sinclair is no stranger to this classic American way of vacationing. Her father owned multiple recreational vehicles, and road tripping was a familiar adventure throughout her childhood. After years of traveling with her husband, Grant, the couple invested in their own RV and continued on with the tradition.
It really is a good way to see the country, good way to get out and explore. You've got the wheels to go out and do what you want to do. You've also got your own space. That's your bed and your kitchen and your bathroom and your things that are just there with you and truly your home that you are taking with you as you go around. So we love it. We love the freedom. We love getting outdoors. We love seeing everything that there is to see around the country, and hope that other people can enjoy it as well.
If you're hearing this and toying with the idea, but wondering, how do I even know if I'm comfortable driving an RV or would even enjoy this way of travel? To help with this, Sinclair recommends renting first.
You can find either local rentals from independent sites. Some of the ones we mention in our book are Cruise America, which is pretty much nationwide. You see those all over the place. El Monte RV is another popular one that's available in 11 different states. Escape camper vans, you'll see those all over the place. Again, they have 13 different locations across the U.S. But then the peer-to-peer, kind of the Airbnb of campers, is the one that we like and have used is Outdoorsy. And then RV Share is another one that you can use.
There are tons of different styles, sizes, and luxury levels when it comes to RVs. It just depends on what you're looking for. One piece of advice is that you can always size up. If you're just starting out, it may be a good idea to opt for a smaller RV.
Start out, just like you would when you first learned to drive a car, in an empty parking lot or, on those back roads that are just kind of flat and not a whole lot of curves, not a whole lot of traffic. And don't be afraid to ask somebody for advice, especially when it comes to backing up, because that is definitely the hardest part of driving, especially a towable RV is going to be backing up anything with a trailer. We still struggle with that even after 6 years on the road. But, the actual driving part is really not any different than driving any other vehicle. You just have to remember that it's going to take you a little bit longer to stop. You're not quite as nimble. You're generally going to be a little bit bigger than a normal passenger car.
For some, another possible deterrent to RV life is the possibility of it breaking down or certain parts not working correctly. Sinclair assures listeners that she and her husband are not the handiest, but have been able to troubleshoot their way through several hiccups.
There are definitely things that we take the camper to a shop where a lot of people might just try to fix it themselves. But, of course, we do try to fix the little things as much as we can. But it's kind of like doing repairs either on a car or at your house. You have some unique things, but some of it is just typical stuff that if you can do it at your house, you can do it on an RV with maybe a few minor differences. And of course, there's Google and YouTube for anything that you really needed expert advice. We found tons of useful tips from YouTube videos or blog posts explaining something, or just reach out to other people at a campground. We've gotten great advice on repairs, or even somebody helping us repair something at a campground when they see us working on something.
In many ways, traveling via RV means embracing the journey and not just the destination. It means uncommon experiences, meeting new people, and getting out into nature. Sinclair recommends planning a small, not too stressful trip when first starting out.
Something that is maybe not too far out in the middle of nowhere. So maybe like Moab, Utah, or something like that, where it's a small city, right? You don't want to necessarily take an RV into a huge city. That would be very overwhelming. But also, if you're in the middle of nowhere, there's no Walmart to run to get supplies, or no mechanic to call if something goes wrong. So I would say, find one of those mid-sized cities and make sure you're staying kind of where you've got a little bit of those comforts of home, but not too overwhelming.
No matter how many destinations you've done, each one requires a certain level of planning. One difficult hurdle can be finding spots where an RV is allowed to camp or park overnight. Sinclair offers up some great resources that give recommendations based on your location.
Campendium is another site that we like. If you're looking specifically for something in a national park, recreation.gov, or just, searching on the park's website, you can find a lot of stuff on Reserve America as well, with state parks or local parks, a lot of times on Reserve America. And then the All Stays Camp and RV app is another good one. That's a good one where we sometimes find the overnight parking lot kind of thing. But those are harder to find. Sometimes even just Googling, can I camp at Walmart in whatever city, will yield some results from whatever random forum it might be on. So Google is your friend when it comes to campgrounds.
So as you're planning out your summer, consider potentially taking an RV road trip. Sinclair and her husband live in the South year-round, so enjoy driving up north during the summer months to escape the heat.
I like going up to Montana, Wyoming, maybe Northern California, Washington, Maine, New England in general, honestly. All good places to go in the summer. We've gone to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. In general, we like to go to national parks or state parks, places where you can really get out and enjoy the outdoors. Some of our personal favorites are the Black Hills of South Dakota or Yellowstone National Park. Utah is great. There's tons of great things to see in Utah. While there's a lot of good stuff on the East Coast, we personally tend to go west a bit more often just because that's what we enjoy.
You can learn more about Bonnie's and her husband's RV travels by visiting their blog at wanderfilledlife.com. That's wander, WANDER, filledlife.com. For more behind the scenes, search Viewpoints Radio on Twitter and Facebook. This segment was written and produced by executive producer Amira Zaveri. Our production manager is Jason Dickey. I'm Marty Peterson. This segment was brought to you by Lowe's. All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Save on the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, now just $149. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offer valid through May 17th. Selection varies by location, while supplies last. Coming up next week.
We're told every day, mostly on the internet, that if you can't pronounce the name of a chemical, it must automatically be bad for you.
What does the long list of ingredients truly mean? Then,
was there a time when you really needed me and I didn't come because I was working?
Taking time this Mother's Day to recognize the many challenges of motherhood. I'm Marty Peterson.
and I'm Gary Price. These stories in depth on your public affairs magazine, Viewpoints.
And that's Viewpoints for this week. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to learn more about upcoming shows and find a library of past programs on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. Plus, you'll always find previous segments and more information about our guests at viewpointsradio.org. Join us again next week for another edition of Viewpoints.